I'm going to prepare a classic moules mariniere dish using some cleaned and prepared mussels. In my pan I have got softened shallot in a little bit of butter with a glass of wine, and that has been cooked for about 5 minutes just to allow the wine to reduce away. This is now up to the boil, and I'm going to pop in my prepared mussels into the pot and replace the lid. I'll give them a little bit of a shake and then back onto the heat, and these are going to take between 3 and 4 minutes just to steam open. To prepare them, you need to look for two things. First of all, you want to make sure that the mussel is actually tightly shut. When it's open like that, it's either enjoying being in a warm environment or it's actually dead. And in order to check that, I'm going to tap the mussel. If it remains open, I would not use that because it actually would indicate to me that the mussel has actually died, and you can get nasty food poisoning from it. So I would discard that. If the mussel's damaged in any way, so if the mussel has got any cracks in it, I would also discard that. And those two I wouldn't cook. The other mussels, you can see one is open. That shuts very nicely when I tap the shell. It's what we call the percussion test to make sure that closes nicely. Once that's done, I then need to remove the little piece of beard. It's also known as the byssus thread. It's a bit of protein that the mussel spins in order to attach itself to its rope or the rock or wherever it's growing. I'm then going to give those a little bit of a scrubbing in a scourer in a bowl of clean water. When you buy mussels, it's really important just to leave them in a bowl covered with a damp cloth in the bottom of the fridge. What you don't want to do is actually soak them in tap water for any length of time. I have one here that does have some barnacles on. If that's the case, we'll remove the byssus thread again, and using the back of a knife, just scrape those barnacles away, make sure it's nice and clean, and then again give it a little bit of a scrubbing with the scourer. Going back to the mussels I have in the pan, and if you look in there, you can actually see that the mussels have nicely opened, and I'm going to lift those out into the colander. Any that remain shut at this stage need to be discarded because they may well be dead. They want to be really nicely opened and nestled in the shell. And once we've drained the mussels and put them in a serving dish, I'm going to replace the cooking liquid back on the stove and allow that to reduce a little bit. You can add a little bit of cream to this, just to allow that to reduce down. Let that bubble for 2 or 3 minutes. Pile them into my serving dish. Replace some of that little bit of cooking liquid that's come out. Let that bubble away. Taste it for seasoning. One of the key things about mussels is that they do throw out quite a lot of salty liquid. So when you reduce this down, be very careful that you don't add any extra salt to the pan. A little swirl around with some chopped parsley as a finish, and that quantity of mussels will be enough to serve one person.